The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Serving it sunny side up. It's News-ish with Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
As a teen, you think you know everything. Adults are dumb and you've got life figured out. But then you graduate, you move out, you get a job, and then you realize you're not as knowledgeable as you thought you were. I found this list of tips adults wish they had heard when they were younger, but I think these are also good reminders for us now.
Okay.
So I want to see what you think. Nobody really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of faking it to make it.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
for sure. Like, I think when you were younger, you probably looked at adults and thought, like someone in higher management, you're like, oh, yeah, they know what they're doing. They don't.
Well, there are things like businesses do that you're like, okay, you got a bunch of people working on this. There must be some logic behind it. And then you realize when you're in a meeting that it was like just winging it, you know?
Yeah. Being popular in high school means nothing in the real world, so you don't really worry about it.
Yeah, you can live or die. I mean, sadly, kids make life-altering decisions based on what other insecure kids think of them. And college is the great equalizer. Like, college is where you start to develop and grow and find your path, and you might have been the big fish in that little pond of high school, but you can get consumed in college, and vice versa. Sometimes the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, thrive in, post-high school world.
Right, yeah. Another one, I like this one. For better or worse, confidence opens as many doors as competence.
100%. That's what I wish I had known when I was a kid, is that like the kids that were super popular and everything like that were the ones that were just confident. They were the ones that hid their insecurities better than the rest of us, and that goes in business too. Like that, it goes at concerts. Like here's a concert tip. Look like you know where you're supposed to go and you can get backstage. Like if you look like you're supposed to be there and then you just kind of, hey, I'm sorry, and you just walk fast and have a clipboard.
Oh, that helps too. And then finally, and this one's going to get Wally on a soapbox, so I saved the best for last.
Good.
You are entitled to nothing. Work hard and safe.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. I love when people use the word I deserve. You deserve. I really try to not say that because you don't deserve anything. It's like it's a super entitled position, and you have to work hard if you want to be successful. And there's no substitute for that. Short-term gains, people do get ahead, by taking shortcuts, but long-term career advice is work hard and work harder than everybody else and be honest. That's what will separate you from the vast majority of the people that you're surrounded by. So there you go. If you're a kid listening today, that was some great life advice for you, and I hope it pans out. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. You have a chance to win a prize right now, but we're going to play a game where you're going to take somebody else on, but you're going to get help from members of the show. It is called the Pass-Out game, okay? So we'll have two teams. Somebody will be forced to play with Gavin, and somebody will choose to play with Betty.
Wait, why'd you say it like that?
And so that's how this is going to go. Two teams of two. I'm going to give you a question. Like, for example, I would give Betty Rock a question. If she thinks she knows the answer, her and her teammate can take 1 point. If they don't know the answer, they can pass it. And maybe it hits it, then Gavin gets it and you get 2 points. But if you don't know it, it comes back to them where they can get 3 points. So there's some strategy involved where if they really think you don't know it, they could pass it to you to then have it come back for 3 points.
Sure.
So it's kind of it's a good point. It's a strategic game as well as a game of knowledge, all right? Today I'm going to give you the category too so you know if you want to play this game or not. We're talking about TV shows and where they were set. Like the setting of said TV show.
Oh.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Okay. Like not realistically, but like fictionally.
Yes.
Like Chicago Fire would be where?
New York.
It's supposed to be in Chicago.
Atta girl.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, I didn't
They're
know
not
if you were
gonna be that
asking
easy.
like how they're trying to make it seem or how it realistically, like, is it in Hollywood?
Oh, no, where it's really shot? No.
Okay.
Where the I'm glad we're having this conversation.
This is good.
Where the fictional TV show is said to take place.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, there we go. So with that, 855 855-33 Way FM is the number. Need 2 people if you want to play now. 855-33 Way FM. We'll do a little pass out game for a prize. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. We have Lisa and Greg to play the pass-out game. Now, Lisa, you're going to be paired with Betty Rock. Greg, you're going to be paired with Gavin. It's kind of boys versus girls here. I'm going to ask each team a question. You have the ability to answer the question and get 1 point. You can pass it if you don't know it, and the other team can get 2 points. But if they don't know it and it comes back to you, you get 3 points if you get it right. So there is strategy about maybe passing if they don't know it or if you think they don't know it. So here we go. This is a list of fictional places that TV shows were set in. And we're going to start with ladies first. Ally McBeal. Where was the TV show Ally McBeal set? Betty and Lisa.
Lisa, did you watch that show?
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
Did
All
you
right.
watch it?
That's a great question. So I think what we're going to do
And she's going to hold on to it, okay?
is we're going to pass. I think
Okay.
we should pass.
I think so.
Let Greg and Gavin see if they can get it.
All right. Greg, did you watch much Ally McBeal?
I mean, I've heard of it. I've seen a couple episodes, but I have a feeling I'm older than Gavin, and I'm not sure he would have seen it.
Yeah, all
I've
right.
never heard of this show.
Well, you guys need to make a guess here.
Do you have any confidence, Greg, or do you want to throw it back at them?
I mean,
All right, make a guess.
I'm thinking Seattle.
Seattle. Okay. Sounds pretty good.
Is he right?
No, he was wrong.
Oh.
So it goes back to the ladies. So this could be a great strategy for the
Okay.
ladies.
Lisa, we could get 3 points here. What would be your top guess? We
I
know
was
she
gonna
worked
say
in the
New York.
city. New York. Ooh.
I would say New York, but
Okay.
I could also say San Francisco.
Oh,
She's like, I could also say a bunch of other cities.
or Chicago. Let's go with
That
New
was-
York. Let's go with New York.
Okay.
Everybody wants to go to New York, it seems.
And it's very lawyery, but that is incorrect. It was Boston.
Dadgummit!
No points there, so we go to the guys. Okay, fellas, where was WKRP set? Now, this is a show about radio stations, and Gavin has no idea. Betty is so frustrated because I know she knows this. So, Gavin and Greg, WKRP was set where?
Okay, Gavin, what are you thinking on this? Because, again, before your time, I'm torn between 2 cities.
I'm going to lean on your knowledge of this. I feel like Betty, because she leans
When
into
he says lean, he means literally stand
Oh, yeah.
on your knowledge because he has no idea.
Zero clue what
so
the show
where do you
is.
think, Greg?
And be careful what you say,
Okay.
because if you get it wrong, we could steal your answer.
No. I'm Cleveland.
Cleveland is incorrect. So it goes to the girls for
All
2
right.
points, ladies.
Lisa, I already know this one.
I do too.
Yeah, baby, if you ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
There you go. Nicely done. That's 2 points for the ladies. And it looks like that is going to do it today for our game. Ladies, you win.
Yeah! As we should.
It was a valiant effort by at least one of the guys.
They're so old, I didn't know anything.
Well, Greg, thank you for playing with us. We have a lovely parting gift for you. And Lisa, congratulations on being the winner of the pass-out game.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. It's time for Time Capsule Tuesday. We're going to turn back the clock a little bit musically, and we are each going to pick a song from a year that we like, and then you are going to tell us who has the best taste in music by which song connected with you. I'm going to start things off today. I'm going to go on the rock tip, kind of a later offering from this band. We're going back to 2019. You know them from the album The Beautiful Letdown, and they just killed it for so long. Switchfoot, and this was their 2019 song, Native Tongue.
Yeah, I remember this song,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it went
Didn't
far.
hit. It did not
Yeah.
hit. It was not a hit. But I was just so glad to hear Switchfoot again, you know. And I like the song, and it feels good to hear it now listening back to it. But yeah, unfortunately, this was not a big hit
Yeah.
for them. But maybe you're like, I miss me some Switchfoot too, and you want to go with that. Gavin, what are you putting up?
I went with a song that I think also didn't receive as much attention as whenever I hear it, I get pumped and excited, and it's Unspoken song Reason.
Oh, yeah.
In your heart.
song in this band. They've written so many songs that I genuinely like, but they never were that big, giant band that blew up, and stuff like that, which, I mean, they're great writers, great music. Chad, the lead singer, is awesome. He's like one of the most honest, direct, open people you'll ever meet. Sometimes for a first year, I didn't know if he even liked me.
Oh, really?
I seriously, he's super dry, and I'm like, does this guy not only not like me, does this guy hate me? And like when we would have him in, and then I'm like, oh, that's just Chad. Because then other people are like, oh, yeah, I had the same thing. He's just super dry. Lady Rock, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Bethel's Raise a Hallelujah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Such a great song. Funny story, I had not heard this song played before, like out in the wild, and I heard my church do it, and I'm like, man, did somebody at church write this song? This is a great song. I, for the first 2 weeks of hearing it at church, thought one of our people had written it.
Of course you
I'm
did.
like, they need to record this and get it out there because I hadn't heard it.
Wow.
And
you work in Christian radio.
I know. We weren't
Wow.
playing it yet, and so I had not heard it. I don't listen to a ton of the modern worship, just in my personal life. But I was glad we started playing this song. It's really great. So now you have a decision to make. Are we going Switchfoot Native Tongue with Wally's choice, Reason Unspoken by Gavin, or Raise a Hallelujah Betty Rock? Who has the best taste in music and why? Which song connects with you? 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take yours now. 855-33-WAY-FM. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. Carrie, welcome. You've heard the three choices for Time Capsule Tuesday. Native Tongue by Switchfoot, that was mine. Reason by Unspoken, that was Gavin. And Raise a Hallelujah by Bethel Music for Betty Rock. So, with that said, who do you think has the best taste in music?
Well, it's a very fine line between Gavin and Betty Rock. However, I have to go with Gavin.
No,
And the
really?
reason, about 5 years ago, maybe less, my family and I switched over to Way FM, and my son, who was only in kindergarten, loves that song, and we crank it every time we hear it, and it really is the reason we listen to your station.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll have to let Chad, the lead singer of Unspoken, know. He'll probably charge me for that. But, that's great news. And it is a great song. You cannot go wrong with any of the offerings today. All right, so here we go. We're going to play Reason by the band Unspoken from 2019. Today it is Carrie and Gavin's pick on Time Capsule Tuesday.
Woo!
This year's felt like 4 seasons of winter, and you'd give anything to feel the sun, always reaching, always climbing.
It's easy to let the fear of the unknown keep us from doing something that is good for us. But going back to school might not be quite what you think.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears going back to school was I'd have to watch a ton of online lectures, and I kind of have a problem staying awake during stuff like that. But it was so different than I had imagined, and way better.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I was going to have to take a bunch of tests, which I am not a fan of. But instead, I was able to write papers, which for me was way better.
Plus, you have the flexibility to work in school around your work and life schedule. Another big fear I had is, what if I don't understand something? What do I do?
Yeah, CCU, they foster community with your classmates, and they are a great resource. And Colorado Christian University has very responsive online professors who are there to help you so you are never alone as an online student at CCU.
Learn more about how you can pursue your passion and find your calling with Colorado Christian University at ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart.
Who needs an expert opinion when Wally is an expert at sharing his?
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
It's news-ish on The Wally Show.
Many times after a disaster like the fire in Maui, you hear all the stories of heroes stepping up and saving lives, and I love that in the aftermath of something bad. It kind of gives you hope, which did happen in this case, which is great. But now there's a second round of stories coming out that's not so heroic. This is the battle of words to assign blame, because it was such a big tragedy, and now Hawaii's electric company acknowledged that the power lines that they had started the wildfire on Maui, but then they faulted the firefighters for declaring the blaze contained and leaving the scene, only to have a second wildfire break out, and that became the deadly fire.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, we admit it, our lines, because they have video, the lines sparked and caused a fire, but they're saying that the fire department did not do their due diligence. And so then Maui County is suing the electric company, and they said that the electric company says, well, we killed the power, so it couldn't have been us on the second blaze that really did all the damage. And Maui's, their lawsuit, the county's lawsuit, contains that they had their lines not caused the first fire, it would all be moot. So they're still responsible, and so why are they fighting about this when families are hurting? Well, they're wrestling over the cause could be crucial in determining who's liable for the billions of dollars of damage and the loss of life.
They could be sued. And
right.
All of that.
That's where you assign blame, and now this person has the blame, and now they take on the financial responsibility of making it right.
Who do you think is to blame?
Oh, it's tough, man. I go back to the initial cause, and it was the power lines. That's what started it. And so I kind of side on that side there. But there was another weird part of this story, too, as a secondary problem coming out of this. The Hawaii Attorney General addressed homeowners and urged them to report unsolicited offers to buy their property that had been destroyed. They're concerned that developers will take advantage of people who have lost their homes, lost everything, and then go, well, you know what, you lost everything. You'll be years trying to rebuild. We'll just buy your land for pennies on the dollar and help you out. And then basically they get all this expensive land in Maui and can do with it as they please. And
they don't want that.
The government doesn't want that. So fortunately, the government, and they're pretty good in Hawaii about protecting the land for people, especially for indigenous people. And so they are trying to stave that off, which is a good thing. But at the end of the day, man, these poor people have so much going on, and they need help, not politics or predators. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and inflation has gotten out of control, and it kind of sneaks up on you sometimes. And this happened to me the other day. I was at the mall, and we were doing like a food court day. Each of us could choose our own thing, and so I saw the crepe place. I never eat at the crepe place. I make crepes at home. I love crepes, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go surprise my wife with a dessert crepe.
Oh.
So I walk over there, and they have all the crepes listed on their sign, and I look up there and I see, cinnamon powdered sugar crepe. Sign me up.
Delicious.
Yes.
And it was delicious. But
So you did buy it?
Yes. What I did not notice at the time was they had no prices on their big display.
Oh.
Like at McDonald's or whatever, Big Mac, $3.99, whatever. No prices on there at all. Their
That
prices
should have been your first red flag.
But I never noticed it because I was just crepe focused, okay? I'm totally on a pre-sugar high and dreaming of all that can happen here. And so I don't notice that. In a little tiny piece of paper down on the deck, on the counter there, they had the prices. So I'm like, okay. She's like, would you like your whipped cream on the side? And when she says your whipped cream on the side, I assume that's just part of the crepe. So I say, of course, that would be fantastic. But then I get the bill, this one crepe with a side that I was charged for of whipped cream. Yeah. $11.50. $11.50 for some cinnamon on a crepe.
It's just batter.
Yes.
What is it?
I make full-blown crepes with a cream cheese and marshmallow fluff cream filling, which is to die for, and strawberries and chocolate syrup. I can make over 12 crepes for about $6. And so
let me ask though.
Yes.
Did it taste like an $11 crepe?
It did not. Ooh. It was fine. But I was so blinded by paying $11 for this crepe. I didn't even want to tell my wife when I came back. But I did. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I felt so guilty.
How much was the whipped cream?
I think it was 50 cents.
Man.
Okay, so the other day I went to Starbucks to get myself a pumpkin spice
Oh,
latte.
you did?
Yes.
Delightful.
I was gonna put some caramel syrup and some whipped cream in
Sure.
it. Okay, whipped cream alone,
Yeah.
$1.50.
No.
$1.50.
That's what the whole can costs.
I know.
Come on, Starbucks.
It's ridiculous.
Do better. Do better.
Like
okay.
at
Do
this
the work.
point, you could get a coffee at Starbucks and it costs you what a steak dinner would cost.
My daughter bought a coffee, and when the girl rang it up for it, and she doesn't even get as much stuff as I get in it. $9 in Florida.
It's ridiculous.
It's out of control. So I'm curious, what is the cost of something that surprised you? The crepe thing snuck up on me, and when she told me, but then I'm at that place where I can't be like, oh, I'm not doing that.
Take it back.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't even say anything, and because you don't want to be that complainy person, because I should have looked.
You always want to be that complaining person.
No, not just at work. So 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is the time that the cost of something really surprised you? So what is the time that the cost of something really surprised you, Annie?
My husband and I went on a date night to a restaurant in Nashville, and we paid $17 for sparkling water.
No!
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
That is insanity. Was it at least a whole bottle?
It's so not much bigger than the plastic thing you would get at like the gas station. It was glass, of course, so
Of
they made it look
course.
fancy.
I thought the airport ripped you off for water. Like, airport water is crazy expensive. That's next level.
I know. We were blown away.
Was it super tasty?
I mean, sparkling water, tasty.
Yeah.
And to think too, like you can go anywhere and you could probably buy sparkling water for like $1.50.
Yeah. That's just wrong.
Or an entire case for $5.
Yeah.
Did they warn you before you ordered it how much it would be?
Absolutely not.
If I had a WAY-FM bottle of water, I would send it to you, and I would only charge you $16.
All right.
Wow.
So what was yours?
I'd gone to the store and I was going to make some chicken salad, but unfortunately I forgot the mayonnaise, so I had to go to Walgreens. I said, I'll get it at Walgreens. 32-ounce jar of Hellman's mayonnaise was $9.99 before tax.
What?
And this was in Columbia, not even Nashville.
That is crazy. $10. But that's the thing. You can't buy stuff like that at Walgreens. Because Walgreens, if you're buying mayo at Walgreens, they know you're desperate.
Yeah, but that's beyond desperate. I mean, even at the grocery store, a regular box of Entenmann donuts was almost $8.
I'm telling you, inflation has gotten so far out of control, but we just pay it and we don't think about it because you have to, you know?
Right.
And so you just get used to it. When is it ever going to come down? Do you think these companies are ever going to stop charging you $10 for mayonnaise just because inflation drops? I don't think so.
No, once you get there and you got them hooked, they're not going to come down. The problem is we need more paycheck money.
Well, Dale, here's the big question. Was your chicken salad, tastier with that $10 mayo?
You know, it was. And I was even thinking about going to Walmart, buying one, and then returning the new one from Walmart to Walgreens to save me about $4 or $5.
Wow. Yeah, that's next level. Well, hey, I appreciate you being on with us, Dale. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless.
What was the time that you bought something recently that the cost surprised you?
So I recently took my daughter to a concert in Nashville, and she is 8, so of course she wanted a souvenir. And we went over to the merchandise table and saw that hoodies, which is what she was wanting, were $80.
No. Ooh. I remember when hoodies were $25 at shows and t-shirts were like $10. Now t-shirts are $30 and like you're saying, hoodies are $80, and they've just gotten out of control. But do you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because record sales have gotten bad for artists where they don't make as much money off their music anymore, but they own all of their merch, and so they make money off their merch, and that's why they're charging as much as they can, to make money on the tour, and unfortunately people will pay it. I won't. Did your daughter get the $80 sweatshirt?
Absolutely not. I told her we had a neighbor with a Cricut. We would make our own.
There you go. I know. Yeah, and then bootleg them and sell them outside the show next time.
Oh, wow. No, don't do that.
No, that's wrong. That is wrong.
He's kind of smart.
Guys have underestimated me my entire life.
Sorry, read that wrong. He's kind and smart. It's News-ish with Gavin.
I think we can all remember being kids and having no clue why adults did or like certain things. Like, I never understood my grandpa liking like coffee back in the day. And now, I mean, I can't survive without this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found this list that people are creating on the internet of things that we hated as kids, but now love as an adult.
Okay.
And I'm very curious to see where some of us land on this. I think I know where like you're going to land on most of these things, Wally. And some of them I don't understand. The first one was water.
Yeah.
Do adults like water? Like, Betty, you're probably the best water drinker in this room.
I get to points where I just crave it.
Really? Why?
I've never just craved water
I don't
before.
know. Like, it's just like nothing with sugar in it is going to quench the thirst that I have. I need water.
Yeah. No, as a kid, I mean, like being forced to drink water or being forced to drink milk. It's like, oh, it's
Like,
the
you have to
worst.
hydrate.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I'll deal with brittle bones when I'm older.
Amen. All right, next one was being at home and having nothing to do.
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, see, I'm at home, I want to find something to do. I make up things to do. Every once in a while, I'll just shut it down. But usually, I'm like, no, I don't want to have nothing to do.
Sure. Okay, this one, I mean, Betty, obviously. Going to sleep early, taking naps.
Love it. Love it. And I remember in kindergarten when it was nap time,
It was the worst,
hated it.
right? Did you have a rug that you used to bring that you lay out a little rug,
mat.
a little mat?
Oh,
yeah.
I wish we did that here at work.
I would love nap
Must be
time.
nice. We couldn't afford a mat. I had a rug. So I laid on a cold floor on this tiny little rug.
It's because mattresses weren't invented back then.
Uplifting Away FM, this is the Wally Show. We always want to put our best foot forward when people come over to the house, or especially if we're taking photos of our house and things like that. But there was one mom on TikTok who went a little bit of a different direction. She kind of got tired of seeing the perfect homes and everybody kind of showing off and fronting, if you will. And she did a post to normalize the house, and she's like, I want to take you on a tour of my self-proclaimed average house. She got about 600,000 views on this thing, and people kind of resonated with it. She says, everywhere you look on social media, you see big, gorgeous houses in perfect condition, and it's hard not to compare yours to them, but it's not the norm. Half the time it's staged. Our house is lived in, it's filled with tons of love, memories, and at the end, that's all that matters. And I understand this, because I have a friend that their house is always kept really immaculate, and ours is medium immaculate, it's and bordering on sometimes chaotic. But I like it because it's lived in and it's not posh, and it's things that I've built and furniture and stuff like that. Like
You've made it your own.
Exactly. And I do really like that. But you still want to clean up when people are coming over, and you might shove things underneath the bed or a couch or what have
closet.
you. Yeah, absolutely. And so I am curious about this. We like to do zoom out from time to time because, again, we want to put that perfect foot forward. So what was a photo that you took and you posted it, you shared it, and it was like, perfect family. These people are great. They have the life. But if you were to zoom out on your life a little bit, what was really going on that people couldn't see inside of that photo that you posted?
Share the truth.
Yeah, because we all do that. We all do that. We've had people talking about how they posted this picture where they looked all happy and they had some family tragedy that they weren't dealing with. I mean, honestly, 4 years ago, I found out when I was on a cruise that my dad had died. And so you see pictures from my cruise that were great and fun, and you don't see the picture. Oh, that's going to get me. Woo!
So zoom out.
Yeah, you don't see the picture of me sitting just in a chair alone by myself. I walked away from my wife and my friends at the table. We were having lunch, and it just overwhelmed me, and I went and I sat at this chair completely by myself and just was sitting there crying, because it just hit me. And then, ironically, I took a sip of water and I started choking. And I almost choked myself to death on this cruise in my grief.
Wow.
So there's my zoom out. All right, so 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Let's do a little zoom out with you right now. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We always want to put our best foot forward when people come over to the house, or especially if we're taking photos of our house and things like that. But there was one mom on TikTok who went a little bit of a different direction. She kind of got tired of seeing the perfect homes and everybody kind of showing off and fronting, if you will. And she did a post to normalize the house, and she's like, I want to take you on a tour of my self-proclaimed average house. She got about 600,000 views on this thing, and people kind of resonated with it. She says, everywhere you look on social media, you see big, gorgeous houses in perfect condition, and it's hard not to compare yours to them, but it's not the norm. Half the time it's staged. Our house is lived in. It's filled with tons of love, memories, and at the end, that's all that matters. And I understand this, because I have a friend that their house is always kept really immaculate, and ours is medium immaculate, it's and bordering on sometimes chaotic. But I like it because it's lived in, and it's not posh, and it's things that I've built and furniture and stuff like that.
You've made it your own.
Exactly, and I do really like that. But you still want to clean up when people are coming over, and you might shove things underneath the bed or a couch or what have
closet.
You. Yeah, absolutely. And so I am curious about this. We like to do zoom out from time to time because, again, we want to put that perfect foot forward. So what was a photo that you took and you posted it, you shared it, and it was like, perfect family. These people are great. They have the life. But if you were to zoom out on your life a little bit, what was really going on that people couldn't see inside of that photo that you posted?
Share the truth.
Yeah, because we all do that. We all do that. We've had people talking about how they posted this picture where they looked all happy and they had some family tragedy that they weren't dealing with, I mean, honestly, 4 years ago, I found out when I was on a cruise that my dad had died. And so you see pictures from my cruise that were great and fun, and you don't see the picture, that's going to get me. Woo!
So zoom out.
Yeah, you don't see the picture of me sitting just in a chair alone by myself. I walked away from my wife and my friends at the table. We were having lunch, and it just overwhelmed me, and I went and I sat at this chair completely by myself and just was sitting there crying, because it just hit me. And then, ironically, I took a sip of water and I started choking. And I almost choked myself to death on this cruise in my grief.
Wow.
So there's my zoom out. All right, so 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. Let's do a little zoom out with you right now. What did you post, but what was really going on?
We were taking a photo for Easter, and all of the kids had their matching outfits before we went to church. And right after we took this beautiful Easter photo, my youngest, he puked everywhere.
Did he get any of the other kids?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the photo you need to take, is the other kids in horror as he is getting sick. That's like a Christmas card.
Well, the best part is he's got this grimace on his face, and everybody else has like this perfect smile and is completely clueless.
Oh, that's so funny. But you know what? At least you remember it. That's a good time.
What a memory it is.
It was a memorable one. That's for sure.
So what was your photo and what was the zoom out?
So my photo was my husband and I with our kids at our little Christian school that my kids go to, and we had this big family dance that I had helped to put on, and it was at Valentine's Day, and it was just a precious night and a fun memory, as far as that goes, but we had found out that day that we were actually miscarrying.
Oh, wow.
So nobody knew at the dance that I was even pregnant, let alone miscarrying. And, you look back at the pictures, and it was such a precious night, but all I could see is I look at those and I just feel the hurt, right, that we were facing.
Yeah, everybody else sees the joy and, this wonderful family, how great is this? And they have no idea what's going on with you.
Right, and it looked so wonderful on the outside. We were dressed to the nines and having a ball, and on the inside I was just, so numb, really.
But that's the thing about life, though, is you have to, even when you're hurting, there's those times you have to push that down and push through for your kids and make that other night for them great.
But But I will say, fast forward a year later, we got pregnant again, and now we have a beautiful 4-year-old little girl. So God answered prayers.
Oh, man, I'm so happy for you guys. And I appreciate you being on the show and sharing your story. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Behold God stuff.
Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show. And God stuff is where we focus on, God principles and things that happen outside of the walls of the church. And in this case, it happens to be from Tim Tebow, who was a great college football player at U of F. And then he only lasted 3 years in the NFL. Won the Heisman Trophy. I was watching a documentary on the Swamp Kings, basically the time there. And he was this fired up guy. And then he goes to the NFL and things just didn't go his way. There are some that say he wasn't a good enough quarterback for the NFL. Others say like his outspoken faith kind of cost him his career. And so what does he think about that is the big question. And he did an interview and he says, you know what? I have no regrets about how my faith may have impacted my NFL career. My faith hasn't really cost me anything. My faith in Jesus and what Jesus has done for me has given me everything. It's given me real hope. It's given me a meaning. It's given me a purpose for being, a hope for heaven, and a joy for life. It's given me a love for people, even in the midst of my mistakes and shortcomings and failures in my life. I'm not defined by my scars. I'm defined by His. So there you go. Tebow always bringing the gospel wherever he goes.
Yeah, and you never know, like what he just said. The people that will reach.
Oh, yeah.
That could speak volumes more than anybody can do a football career. Well, I say anybody. Yeah. You couldn't. Gavin couldn't. I couldn't. But I mean, most. It's just that's going to go a lot further.
Well, I think what's important about this is it's from someone who had their career not go the way they wanted it to go.
And he's still happy.
Right. Because that's the thing. If you're a quarterback, if you're Brady and you've lived this whole career and you've had 5 Super Bowl rings and things like that, and you say, God is good, people go, well, yeah, duh. You had great success. But when you make it 3 years of your dream in the NFL and you're out, then what do you do with that? Do you still say God is good when my life didn't go the way I thought it would go? And he's always been really good about being a stand-up man of faith and acknowledging that God is bigger than all of the stuff that he's got going on. So I think that's a great perspective for all of us. I mean, maybe you weren't bounced out of the NFL, but loss, hurt, disappointment. And so this perspective might really help us navigate some of these setbacks and help put us, help put our faith into perspective. So there you go. That's your God stuff for today.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. This is the Rock Report with Betty Rock.
The 2024 Super Bowl is taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. And because of that, Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo threw his suggestion in the ring for who he thought should be the halftime show.
There has been some, I think, bad halftime shows as of late. Like the one with The Weeknd, I think that was during COVID, but that was horrible.
One was rough.
What was the puffer jacket one from last year?
Oh, Rihanna.
And she was, I think pregnant at the time, too.
I don't fault her for that, Gavin.
No.
Come on, don't be sexist.
Come on, no.
What is wrong with you?
I will say, one of my favorites was Bruno Mars. He did great. And Katy Perry with Left Shark. Left Shark
so good.
made it.
We still talk about it to this day. So the halftime show is a big deal.
Right.
I had heard that they were trying to get Taylor Swift, but she was holding out because she's on a tour that's making over $1 billion. She
doesn't need it.
Well, the reason she was saying no and stuff was because they don't pay the halftime acts. And I think people are saying she's angling to get paid since she's doing so well right now anyway. Yeah, so
that's kind of surprising because Beyonce's done it.
Yeah, and they don't pay them. Yeah, it's more of a publicity thing, and you get the notoriety, and the small group of people that have done it, you're kind of in a special club.
Right.
So.
Well, now there's a band that's being called upon, and it's all thanks to Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. His suggestion for the halftime show is the one and only AC/DC.
Yes! Thunderstruck! Oh, my goodness gracious.
Can you imagine a bunch of old 80-year-olds up there trying to dance around and sing?
It would not be the same without Malcolm, God rest his soul. But that would be an interesting choice. I think Aerosmith did part of a Super Bowl one time, like
with
they were
Britney
like a guest.
Spears and NSYNC.
It'd be interesting to see if like a rock show, because they do like pop and hip hop predominantly. It'd be interesting to see if a rock show would carry a Super Bowl halftime.
Do you think it would?
I don't.
I mean, with songs like theirs, do we think?
I don't. I mean, I think they've got enough songs that people know. I mean, but it's a certain demographic of people that know them. But that's also people that watch football.
That's true.
So, like, I don't know that it would be the best option. And especially, too, these guys are old. God bless them. Like, they could be doing retirement home shows and killing it, literally killing it. So I don't know that the Super Bowl is the best place for them now.
I don't know. I could get on board with this one.
I would like to see a hybrid then. I don't know if I could watch a whole show of aging rockers, like a whole halftime show.
Because it would make you sad.
Yes, it would. I'm like, that could have been me.
No, it's because you're getting so old. You're like, oh my gosh.
I know. Do I look like that when I walk?
They're up there in their orthopedics and their oxygen tanks.
Their walkers have scarves on them, just to somehow make them look cool. No, so it'll be interesting to see Super Bowl who they're going to get this year. If he has his way and gets AC/DC, that'd be pretty impressive, though. Uplifting Way FM, this is the Wally Show, and it's important to teach your kids the value of the dollar and give them a good, healthy work ethic. Let them work for chores and earn a little bit of money, and that kind of stuff I think will carry them a long way in life. We ran into some friends of ours who hadn't seen in a while because they had moved. And what are you laughing about over there?
I don't know. I was just thinking about how earlier you Venmo'd
Are you talking? It's so funny. I almost brought this up, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get sidetracked, but here we are, sidetracked.
I wasn't going to get sidetracked. You called me out.
Okay, so, yes, I have a 24-year-old daughter, and she's living and making her own way down in Florida.
Has a full-time job.
Yeah, and I told Betty, I said, give me a number between 1 and 50, and Betty chose what?
27.
And so I Venmo'd Haley $27. Just, treat yourself today.
I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you. I miss the kid. She's cool. And so I'm like, but then I'm like, yeah, Betty hosed you. She could have said 50, and you would have got $50.
But you just got done saying, you need to teach your kids how to save and work hard. My dad doesn't Venmo me $27 just randomly.
Dad might not love you as much as I love my kid.
Gosh.
So, but again, she's down there working, and so I've instilled that in her. She's a hard worker, and she does well at her job.
That gets random money from Daddy.
Yeah, when you say it that way, it sounds worse. Anywho, I ran into some friends of ours that had moved, and their son was saving up for something, and he was talking to his dad about how much it was going to cost, and his dad's like, well, you're not doing your chores enough to actually afford this. And he started walking through the math with him because the dad works at Dave Ramsey, and so he's instilling in him work ethic and the value of money. And he's like, do you realize how long it's going to take you to buy this lightsaber? Because he wanted a Star Wars lightsaber. And the kid, the look on his face is like, oh.
Well, those are ridiculously
They're expensive.
I mean, I'm saving up for the same thing.
Are you really? Good for you.
It's literally a glow stick with a handle.
It's way more than that.
So much more than that. I neither one of us expects you to get it. I have resisted the urge to buy one every time because I'm not even a giant Star Wars nerd, but man, they are so cool.
And you can make your own, choose your own color.
I know.
Be a Jedi.
One time I had texted Betty, I said, hey, I'm at Disney. Should I get one of these for Gavin for his birthday, and we'll split it? And she was like, "What? How much is it?" And I said, "It's probably going to be like $200." And she's like, "Absolutely not." Yeah,
that
she's
never
like,
happened.
She's like, "Do not get that for him. Whatever you do."
You ruined my birthday.
Host Haley, host Gavin.
Oh my gosh, no.
All right, so what is that thing that your kid is saving up for? I'm just curious. I love to see what kids are doing and how they're trying to accomplish it. And, sometimes they don't even understand the whole value of money and how much it actually takes. So what is your kid saving up for? 855-33-WAY-FM. That's 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that thing that your kid is saving up for right now?
He's saving up for one of those VR headsets. I think it's Oculus or something
Oculus.
like that.
It's an Oculus,
Yes.
and I'm saving up for one too.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, because the new one is supposed to come out, I think, like next month.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a new one. I would have bought a past generation. Oh my gosh, you saved me. Thank you.
Wait, this is a helmet?
It's a VR headset, so you can play VR games in your headset. You don't need to watch a screen. The screen is on your face. Yeah. And I want a flight simulator so I can fly with it, but I'm saving up my money.
Kat, this just goes to prove that no matter the boy's age, he will always be a boy.
Oh, I know. Well, he's like 18. He just graduated, and he doesn't have a job. So he's just been saving birthday and any kind of money like that. So since he just graduated in May, he's now got the money he can to afford it. So he's just waiting for the thing to be released.
How much is it?
It's either $3.99 or $4.99 if you get the one with more memory.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the joy that he's going to have from playing with this every
For a
day
month.
and not working. No.
Not working.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to work.
He can't turn pro if he's going to a job every day. He's not going to be a pro gamer like that. Come on. Get behind Cat's son's dream, Betty.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Alexis, what is your child saving their money for?
My daughter's saving to open her own bank account.
Ooh, that's kind of an adult move. Good for her. How much does she need to open the account?
She needs 50 and she saved 20 so far.
Okay, so she's getting there.
How old is she?
Yep, she's 11.
I remember one time I was saving up for a wallet, and so my dad paid me to paint the house with him over the summer, and I really wanted his wallet. And I was so shocked when I went and bought the wallet. It took all my money, and I had no money to put in the wallet.
Aww.
It was so sad. It was the saddest day for me. And I'm like, I got this really cool Velcro surfer wallet with nothing in it.
Not much has changed either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but instead of me losing the money, it's my wife and daughter taking it from me now. All right, Lindsay, you're up. What is that thing that your kid is saving money for?
Actually, last week when you guys had the sport drive, my 9-year-old daughter was hearing about donating like $20 a month, and she's trying to save up enough to be able to donate to you guys.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
Both my girls, we listen to you guys all the time, and my daughter would love to be able to give to you guys and be able to donate because we love listening to you guys all the time.
Okay, here's the deal. Like, when kids used to want to donate, I literally would be like, look, let us adults do it. You save your money. I know how hard it is to make it. Just hold on to it. And then I kind of learned that if they're trying to be generous, you want to foster that in them, you know, and so you're actually disrespecting or you're kind of diminishing something God's doing in their life. So how does that make you feel as a parent that she wants to do that?
Overjoyed and just being able to know that we're discipling our girls to know that, hey, if they see somebody on the side of the road, they're going to say, Mommy, we want to be able to give some money to that person and give them some food. They just have an absolute compassion to be able to do that and see that, and they see that need. And my daughters are 9 and 7.
Well, Lindsay, please, when you see your daughters today, on behalf of us here, like, thank them for what they want to do. And I mean, that's just too kind, and I love that. So thank you.
You're certainly welcome.
People, please.
Uplifting Way FM. This is The Wally Show. People Please is a segment we do when we just find ourselves up against stories. We're like, oh, seriously, you got to calm down. Please stop, okay? That's the case for this headline. Are Taylor Swift fans hurting cats? Now,
Hurting or hurting?
Hurting, H-U-R-T. They might be hurting or collecting them for sure. But no, they are not hurting cats. No true Swiftie in their right mind would ever hurt a cat.
Well, because Taylor Swift has 3 cats of her own. Like,
Yes.
you would think that
That all make
Swifties
hundreds of thousands of dollars, by the way.
Oh, I believe it. You would think Swifties, though, her fans, would be
Yeah.
all cat lovers.
Well, they are. And so there's a TikTok challenge out there among Taylor Swift fans where they hold their cat up, you know, like eye level with them, just up under their front paws, and they just spin in a circle, you know. It's just
love
like,
'em.
I love my cat. And so they do it to the song August by Taylor Swift. I just thought of this. I want to shoot a version of this because they don't want people to do this anymore because they say it's hurting cats. I want to do a version of this with me spinning Gavin around.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with something like achievable, like Betty. You can't pick me up.
He has a tender tummy,
We'll shoot
too.
it in a way it looks like I'm picking you up. But I just think that would be funny. But yes, there is apparently the Cats Protection Animal Charity, who knew that existed, are saying at no point should any animal deliberately be be put in a position of fear, anxiety, or frustration or experience pain for human benefit.
Oh.
Like, when did it be not okay anymore to pick your cat up and just kind of spin in a circle? Like, I don't understand. You're not hurting the cats. Uh-oh, Betty. Betty, no.
Do you get this?
No, Betty.
Do you get their argument?
Well, because I know.
Don't go to the dark side.
No, listen, I know what Gen Zers are all about, getting the clout or whatever.
True, we are.
And they want the likes.
Right.
And so if you're putting, like, cats have rights, right?
Oh, stop.
No,
And
they don't.
what if
You're
they don't
not-
want to be in your video? Maybe they don't want to.
If they don't want to, they will scratch your eyes out, and that's how you regulate the
But they're
situation.
dizzy. They can't figure out where your eyes are.
You pick up Mr. Beans,
love
Buford,
Mr. Beans.
and you I'm sure you've hugged him and spun him around,
He
and
has
he's
been
fine.
a victim of my cute aggression
Yeah.
multiple times. Yes.
You held him the other day when we came over to your house
Because I loved him so much.
And I tried, and like we wanted to pet him, but you held him up by his arms like this, and he was like, God, he just wanted no part to do with
I
other
panicked.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's okay. Like,
But
he
I didn't
survived.
get any, I didn't put that on social media
I
for
know.
people to like.
I just think it's silly. Like, I get
I
it.
don't
If a
know.
cat is freaking out at you, fine, then they don't like that. But like my cat Hank, I could have held my cat upside down by his tail. And
Don't do that.
I said I could have, and he would have been like, all right.
And now he's gone. He doesn't exist anymore. Does that
goodness.
say something?
He did pass away.
That says something,
Miss
right?
him every day. He was such a cool cat, but like he was so chill. Like it never was putting him in a place of danger.
But there are some cats that have anxiety issues, and
Oh, my
maybe they
goodness.
don't want to be spun around.
Well,
so
then
I
they
say,
need
I say, let's protect the cats.
Oh my goodness. They need, I didn't see this coming, to be honest with you. Like they need an emotional support hamster then. If the cat it can't deal with anxiety issues. Like,
how cute.
To me, it's just another example of people getting worked up about nothing yet again and going crazy and having to be heard. There you go. There's another Taylor Swift that describes how I feel about this.
Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.